Hi, I'm back for more yoga with you guys. My name is Kendra Marie, and I'm going to be talking today about the chakras. This is one of my favorite topics in the world of yoga, and I'm really excited to talk about it today. And for the next 7 video sessions, we're going to be getting right into the poses on the mat and talking about things you can do to unblock and enhance circulation of each of your individual chakras. So what is a chakra? Technically, the word in Sanskrit means wheel. It's a spinning center of energy inside your body in 7 different places where basically blockages are held energetically. So just like the lymph node system, if you're familiar with that from massage or anatomy, or all kinds of physical sciences talk about the lymph node system and the bloodstream or even the nervous system. Each of these systems are pathways or circuitries where clear pathways are needed so that things can flow efficiently. So the same thing is with the chakras. These are different blockage centers where information that you've experienced emotionally, physically, even spiritually gets stored. And then, depending on the circumstance, if something there is negative, it turns into a blockage similar to the way fat cells build up in the wall of the artery, causing less blood flow. So what we do in yoga is a lot of different practices and techniques to try and clear those blockages so that you can have a more clean and efficient system functioning for higher spiritual connection to the divine or to the other. In this video series, it's so that you can have better connection with your lover or partner and with yourself. So I'll just tell you real briefly about the chakras. I've made this little chart here. You can see. I think you can see all of them there. Yeah. So this is the first one down here, the color red. The word is Muladhara in Sanskrit. It's the seat of Kundalini, and it's at the root or the base of the spine. The next one is the color orange, and the Sanskrit word for that is Swadhisthana, and that is basically at your sacrum or in your very lowest belly. That word means sweetness in Sanskrit, and it's actually one of the most difficult chakras to get yourself beyond. In a lot of the Vedic scriptures, there's a lot of techniques and practices that are encouraging each yogi to get beyond the Swadhisthana seat, because if you get the Kundalini or the positive energy inside your body to rise above that, they say that the rest become a lot easier. But we're going to work with all of them so that the others are clear and free-flowing, so that if you do have a release of Kundalini, which would be awesome, there's no more blockages to encounter. But number 2 is going to be the one that we focus on most in this video series, because that's the seat of desire. And the challenge there is with a lot of things in life. It circuits through all the others, so especially with sex and money and power and emotional and hormonal healing. So lots of things going on there. Anyway, moving on. Number 3, Manipura, is the yellow one, the sun. That means illustrious gem in Sanskrit, but it's your willpower center, the center of vitality for your life. And that's going to be really important for us to play with too. The whole sun salutation that everyone's familiar with is centered around this chakra to enliven it and bring the power of the sun into your life so that you can make healthy, positive, motivating decisions for yourself. The 4th one, the green one, is the heart chakra. That one is also very commonly talked about in a lot of yoga classes. Anahata means heart. And this one is very important for our practice. It's the give and take chakra. It's all about love, breathing, compassion, giving and receiving. This is the one that is in the center of the 7, so it's the one that actually comes into balance with all the others. The lower 3 and the upper 3 meet here. So that's going to be really important when we're playing with energies, especially not only within ourselves but with another. Number 5, the throat chakra, is Vishuddhi, and that one is very interesting in our practice as well because it's the communication center. It's all about trust and honesty and respect, which is some of the most important material to cover when you're dealing with a lover or even a friend or even within yourself. Number 6, the blue I'm sorry, that was blue. Number 6 is the purple, the Ajna chakra, and that is the psychic command center, which is really interesting. We know it as the third eye. This is where Hindus place the bindi for protection against psychic invasion. And for a lot of other reasons, it's a great ritual to honor yourself there and your wisdom and your higher sense of vision for your life. Something very important to create within yourself, and also to connect with, so that you don't lose your sense of personal vision when you're interacting with another as well. Then we've got number 7 up at the top. It's a clear white light. I wrote the word Om there because it's the most connected to the universe. It's like the center above your head, on the top of your head, at the crown, the 1,000 little lotus petal, the 1,000 petal lotus. And that's the one that is the most spiritual of them all. They're all spiritual, but that's the one that you would focus on working on for non-attachment and total enlightenment. That's the one that just like blows the lid off the top when you have an orgasm. So we're going to be working with all the chakras in the next upcoming video sessions, so stay tuned. I will go ahead and teach you one breathing technique today before we let go, because it's used in a lot of the poses that are necessary for unblocking these chakras. A lot of yoga poses in Kundalini yoga, which is the type of yoga used in the Kriyas and the Tantras to release the chakras or unblock them, use the breath of fire. And I'll have to show that to you because it's actually kind of complicated. There's a few things I want to say first, though. I looked up a couple YouTube videos on this actually myself to make sure I was doing it right, and realized that there's a lot more to it than I thought. I guess what I learned is the most important aspect of it, which ties in beautifully to what we're studying here, is that you want to create an equalization or a balance between the inflow and the outflow of your breath. Your inhale and your exhale should be equalized. So a lot of times people know this breath as, I guess, a movement where you're thrusting out. You suck the diaphragm in, it raises the thoracic cavity, and you spew air out. That's pretty forceful exertion. And a lot of people, on the other hand, look at it as a sucking in, and they're using the power of the diaphragm coming down, pulling air into the lungs. I learned just the other day that it's supposed to be an equalization of the two, which obviously makes sense. It seems like that's the message of yoga all the time. So, very important things. I'm going to back up and show you. Hope you can still hear from a distance. My first time using the iPad to film. You want to engage the navel point, support the thoracic cavity by putting the shoulders behind the back, and lifting the chin slightly so you're not tipping forward. Basically, you want your spine in straight alignment. So, watch me. I'm going to sit up here so you can see more easily. And I'll lift my shirt up so you can see my abdomen. So here we show that the navel is going to be right under the thoracic cavity. It's kind of bright light there. That's cool. My heart is shining. And you're going to drop your shoulders back and down, lift the chin slightly so that your head, neck, and spine are in alignment. Okay, so we're going to take a few relaxing breaths. If you're doing this with me at home, you can just close your eyes and breathe deeply once. When you let all the air out, try to suck that diaphragm in. And as you let the air come back in, let the belly puff out. It's not the most attractive looking thing, but who cares? So when we let the belly puff out, that's the lungs filling and compressing the diaphragm down. So now we're going to do the breath of fire. I'll demonstrate it first. Okay, so did you see what was going on there? I don't know if you could hear it, but my breath felt pretty even. I don't know, you can rewind that, slow it down, and analyze it if you want. But basically you want it to be going in and out at the same rate. So you practice that on your own, and that's the breath of fire. We're going to work with that in a lot of other poses for a lot of the different poses that we need for the chakras. And that, I think, will be all for today. We'll come back in a few minutes and go through the rest of the chakras individually. Thanks.